And there's some art on the walls.
There's some cutouts papers.
I like them.
I guess it's artsy. I like the leaves better than the apples.
Me too.
My friends, welcome to this installment of Art. My name is Miss Rebecca with the Shaler North Hills Library, and that's Miss Ingrid behind the camera.
Hello.
My friends, today, boy do I feel inspired. Fall is my favorite season. It's true. I love flannel. I love sweaters, but I love flannel more. I love the crispy fall air. And I love when I walk my dog, whose name is Oliver, when I walk my dog to take care of his business and for his health. But he's a pug, so he doesn't really need to walk all that much, or likes walking all that much. I love to stomp on crispy leaves. It really makes me happy.
I don't know if we're live. I don't see it on the... There we are. Yeah, we're live. Okay. Sorry. I just wanted to make sure. All right. Go.
We are very technologically savvy here in the art studio. And, ooh, the furnace kicked on.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't smell like chemicals anymore, though, because it's been going for a while. So, my friends, I'll stop rambling, but I just wanted to say that I'm inspired by the fall. I also love fall-smelling candles. And what I like also are the color of leaves.
Yeah.
See, you can even see some right out the window.
Yeah, there's real and there's art leaves.
Yeah, and earlier today we saw a cat
Real
outside.
and art leaves.
I saw a blue jay outside, too, from my desk window.
Nice.
So, what we're going to do today, you just need some paper. Now, you can have white paper. You can have colored construction paper. Whatever works for you. And, most importantly, whatever your super special grown-up says you can use to make your art. You will also need crayons. And you may need a glue stick. But there's a couple different ways you can make fall leafy trees, my friends. And we'll be doing both ways that I thought of today. Now, if you wanted to, you could have brown construction paper and either cut out your tree trunk, or you could draw your tree like how I'm going to do with my brown crayon. Now, my friends, this is my trusty crayon box that you've seen many times before, if you've watched before. And I've got all my colors still in there. Some are broken in half, it's true. And while a fresh box of crayons is wonderful, the broken ones work just as well. So I chose my brown crayon because I find it hard to draw a tree trunk that is not brown. But if you want to draw a green tree trunk or
Totally
a purple
fine.
tree trunk,
Black.
whatever. Yes, exactly.
Hey, I have a question.
Yes.
Had you used those crayons before we began our show? I mean, season 1.
If I did very...
Okay. I just wondered.
Very little.
Yeah.
Like if I had to make an example from Art from the Start, which took place back in the day,
Yeah.
I would use those crayons. So,
Yeah.
not extensively.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I turn my paper this way. You can turn it this way. You can turn it that way. You can have one tree. You can have forest. I'm going to just work with 2 trees, you see. So I'm just going to draw some ground. And then there's one tree. And I will turn it around in a second. It kind of looks like fingers.
It's kind of a spooky tree.
Well, we're going to do a spooky season. Woo!
It feels like we've been in a spooky season for a long time.
We're not going to get into that on this
Okay.
episode of Art.
No.
So there's one tree.
That's a nice tree.
Thanks. And then we'll get up to another tree. And this tree is so tall, we're not even going to see it all.
Wow, that's creative. That's thinking outside the coloring page.
Which is not my norm. See what I did there?
Ooh.
And that part of the tree is just like, can you picture going up even more?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am going to color my tree. Now, I do like to color inside the lines, so I don't color outside of the lines. But if you do, and it's okay to, because sometimes when you're in school or classes, you're asked to please stay inside of the lines for certain projects. And, sometimes you just follow the directions.
But if you would, even if you'd been asked to stay inside the lines and you'd accidentally color outside the line, that'd be different than
Well, accidents are fine.
than
But
purposely
sometimes you're asked to color
falling.
inside the lines
I'm not falling back.
just to be careful.
Oh yeah, I need to think
You're
about
not
that.
just asked to stay in the lines just because it's the only way to do it. 'Cause
Right.
It isn't. It's
I
because
gotcha.
you're just practicing maybe getting into this little branch. And
Precision.
you need to slow, here, look on this trunk. Look what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Whoa,
like-
I can get that done so quick. But if I try to go that quick up in my branches, I'm going to run into trouble. So
That's
up
where you
here
have to take your time.
where it's narrower, I need to slow down and take my time. So that's why sometimes you're asked to do those sorts of things.
And it's probably also why there aren't speed limits in some parts of Montana.
That could be why. Maybe it's just a big flat thing.
Yeah, but there are speed limits other than.
Well, now I'm going to
Oh, wait, Quentin has a suggestion. And, well, Ozzy had the suggestion. Ozzy, he's older than Quentin. He says you could use a black crayon to make a hole in the middle of the
You
tree.
could. That's a good idea.
Dude,
Critters live in.
that is cool,
Very good
Ozzy.
suggestion. Now, Ozzy and all my other friends out there, I've come to a point with my brown crayon where I need to make some adjustments.
Okay.
You've been there too. I need to dig my nail into the top of the wrapper and I need to unwrap a little bit of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you ever have one of those crayon boxes with the sharpener in the back?
Yes.
I love those.
I didn't find them to be very
64. Yeah, but I mean, I love the crayon. I love the multitude.
See
and
what I just
variety of
did?
things. Yeah.
I had to peel it.
And
So-
now you don't throw the paper on the floor.
No, you don't. Where do you throw paper? The garbage!
No. The recycling bin.
The recycling bin!
Coloring.
Now see, here go my branches. Now,
Dude, are you going to put one of those holes in there? They're so cool.
maybe,
You know
I'm
what?
gonna do it here.
You know what would be neat? Like, if you had could make it into like a collage, and you had like another piece of paper, and you could cut out an owl and put it in the tree.
You could do that. Here's my
Look at
apple.
that! Yeah, and then if
Wait,
you had
no,
another piece of paper,
wait.
oh my gosh, good thinking! Ozzy, thanks for that idea.
Yeah. Now there's an animal in the hole.
I wonder what that is. Oh, guess what? Grinny is a thing.
What's Grinny?
Well, on one previous episode, we talked about, like many years ago, many moons ago, we talked about how my grandmother used to call chipmunks and squirrels grinnies.
Why?
I don't know. Well, I never knew. But then my friend Beth, who's watched the Magic 8 Ball, she actually looked it up in the dictionary, and it really is a word for a small woodlandy type animal.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, which I forgot to tell my brother, because my brother was asking about that the other day.
Well, I'm sure he's watching right now. So
He probably is. No, he's a librarian, so he's probably working.
Now, I'm just finishing up coloring my trunks. And you know what's nice too about coloring trees, I think, is because you're kind of, like all the lines look good. Like maybe sometimes,
Oh, yeah, because trees have those things in them, textured.
maybe sometimes you want bark. Maybe
Bark,
sometimes
that's what
you
it
want
is.
like a real smooth look, or maybe you don't.
Yeah,
But with trees, see how it looks like
yeah.
barky? So, now here is where even more artsy stuff comes into play. Now, you could take your crayons and you could color leaves on there. Or if you have another piece of white paper, you could color colored leaves on the white paper, cut them or rip them out, and then glue them onto your tree trunks.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going straight up ripping, my friends, because that's just kind of where I'm at. So I'm going to start with my red, and I'm just going to rip a little bit of red piece, and then I'm going to rip some little leaves.
I really like that.
And I mean, leaves I feel like are almost like snowflakes. Not that every single one's different, but like how different trees have different kinds of leaves, but then those leaves are similar.
Yep.
I forgot
And-
to color my ground, but that's okay because I can go back and color it later because I just want to do my leaves now.
If you're ever trying to be clever and want to tell something that's guaranteed to get an eye roll instead of really being clever, you can say, make like a tree and leave. Yeah. Eye roll. Nice.
So now I'm just putting my little glue dibble dobbles on here, and then I'll just put my little rippy leaves, because sometimes it feels good in life to rip things, but a lot of times in life it is not appropriate to rip things, which is fine. But this is an opportunity where you can be creative and rip at the same time, which I feel 2020 is the perfect time to creatively rip things.
Yeah. I think that's cool.
It's not too shabby.
You know, I was thinking, one thing, say you just have another white piece of paper,
Yes.
but you have your crayons.
Yep.
And you're going to rip anyway.
Yeah.
What you could do is you could divide the paper into two colors. I mean, into a half.
And rip at the same time.
Yeah, and you could color one whole side red and one whole side yellow, so you're making colored paper. And then rip.
That's nice.
Yeah. I was
That's
just
good.
thinking about that.
Now, so there's my red leaves.
I like how you put some on the ground.
Well, yeah, because that's where they fall to.
Yeah.
Now, well, I have 3 more pieces of yellow paper, and I'm going to use them. Because then I'm going to make another piece of paper. Because leaves go through a cycle of colors, and I don't know the science behind that, so I'm not going to pretend to. But I feel like leaves from one kind of tree turn one kind of color, and leaves from another kind of tree turn another kind of color. But you don't need
seems
to
that
follow
way.
those rules because this is art.
And it's your tree. Nice. Look at that. You ripped them at the same time.
I did. Oops.
That's okay.
Now I had a little bit of glue stuck on my finger from gluing, and then it stuck to my finger and then flew off onto the floor, which happens. Then you just pick it up later.
Yeah.
Unless your super special grown-up tells you need to pick it up now, then you'll do that. But
Then just pick it up.
I think it's okay to pick it up. But you do what they say.
I mean, here, because it's not like there's a dog that's going to run in and start chewing it or anything.
Maybe I'll pick them up now anyway.
Or a aardvark.
Did you say an aardvark?
Yeah, I mean, if you have a pet aardvark or a pet dog or something
Do
at
you know
home,
anybody who has a pet aardvark?
I don't.
Is anybody out there?
Ozzy, do you know anybody who has a pet aardvark?
I feel like I wouldn't want a pet aardvark.
Quentin? I don't really know. I don't know. Arthur's a pretty nice guy.
I don't really know Arthur.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I didn't think I would like him, but then when I've had to read him for different classes, I've really enjoyed him.
I'm just not very familiar with Arthur.
I've never seen the show or anything like that, but I've enjoyed his books.
You know who I'd like to know better?
Who?
Peppa.
Yeah. The
I-
Briticisms, the off-putting Briticisms.
Are they really off-putting?
No, but I saw that in a book review once, that term. off. The book doesn't. It's some reviewer had written it doesn't have any off-putting Briticisms. But Briticisms might be endearing to some.
I'd like to watch the Peppa show.
That's what I watched.
I've
I've never read the books.
I've tried to read the books, but just knowing that
I've
the
just
show
watched
has
the
an
show.
accent,
Yeah.
I feel nervous trying to read it.
I like using my fake Pittsburgh British accent. What Ian's doing.
I can't do one at all.
What Ian's doing tonight. That is so nice. And thank you, Quentin, for the idea. Not
Yes.
Quentin. Why do I keep saying Quentin? Oh, and Starry Ray is watching. And that means Emma's watching too, but maybe Emmy. They are neighbors of Miss Audrey, the First Lady. Miss Audrey and Mr. Tom.
Very nice. Hello
Yeah.
out there. Well,
Hello.
all friends.
Yeah, all friends.
So, as you know, at the end of all the art, or when we're done using our glue stick, what do we do with the cap to the glue stick?
Put the cap back on.
Because this glue stick has lasted a long time. And now I've got crayons out of the box.
Oh, guess what?
Hmm.
Ozzy does not know anyone who has a pet aardvark.
You know, Ozzy, don't be too disappointed about it because I'm sure you're not the only one who doesn't know somebody who has a pet aardvark. I don't know anybody who has a pet aardvark. Do you,
I
Miss
don't
Ingrid?
either. I don't.
And I feel like that would not be
Common?
a wise pet to have for many reasons, but probably the biggest one is that I'm sure an aardvark wouldn't want to be a pet.
Is an aardvark an anteater?
Maybe.
So
Maybe they're
another,
a cousin.
if you were a family of ants, you wouldn't want to have a pet anteater. Would you?
No,
No.
you wouldn't. My friends,
Yay. Hi.
whatever art you are making out
Miss
there.
Starry says hi.
Hello. Whatever art you are making out there is awesome and amazing, and it's so fantastic because it came from your beautiful brains.
And we have dance party. You do have beautiful brains. That's what you need to remember. Because sometimes our brains get tired or sad or unhappy with the way things are. But remember, you have a beautiful brain.
Use it.
And use it. And use your beautiful hearts.
And crunch some leaves.
Crunch some leaves! Do 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 do.
Art.
Art. Oh, guess what? I do want to. They don't have any aardvarks at Emmy's house either.
Okay.
Dude, I
I
don't
think that's a
think
good
anybody has an aardvark.
No, and I don't think anybody should.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
I wrote a CP.